The first sign came as a strange signal in the sky. Satellites orbiting Earth detected a massive object moving toward the planet at incredible speed. At first, scientists thought it was an asteroid or a comet. But soon radar confirmed something unbelievable. Massive ships far larger than any human spacecraft were approaching Earth. People across the globe watched the sky, some in awe, others in fear. News channels scrambled to report the story. Social media exploded with guesses and theories. In the International Space Observatory, Dr. Elena Harper stared at the data in disbelief. "This isn't natural," she said quietly to her assistant. "These are not asteroids. These are ships. Intelligent ships." Her voice trembled, but her mind raced. She had studied extraterrestrial life for years, but nothing had prepared her for this. Governments immediately raised alarms. Cities were warned to prepare for any eventuality. Military forces worldwide went on high alert. Fighter jets were scrambled, missiles loaded, and defense satellites activated. But despite the preparations, there was a feeling of helplessness. Humanity had never faced anything like this. At first, many hoped for peaceful contact. Perhaps these beings had come to learn about Earth, to communicate, to share knowledge. Humanity had long dreamed of meeting aliens, but this hope quickly faded. The aliens were not landing to talk, they were attacking. The first strike came without warning. Major cities across Asia, Europe, and North America were hit by beams of energy so powerful that entire blocks were vaporized instantly. People ran in terror, screaming, crying, and praying. Buildings crumbled, cars were thrown into the air, and smoke filled the sky. The power of the aliens was beyond imagination. In New York, Lieutenant Marcus Hayes watched from a rooftop as one of the alien ships hovered over the city. He gritted his teeth as a beam of light sliced through the street below. Emergency sirens wailed, and the chaos of fleeing civilians filled the streets. Marcus had trained for war, but nothing in his experience prepared him for this. The soldiers under his command were doing their best, but their weapons seemed useless. Bullets bounced off the alien shields. Missiles exploded harmlessly in midair. Meanwhile, Dr. Harper and her team worked tirelessly. They analyzed the alien signals, trying to find patterns. "There must be a weakness," she whispered. "Every system has a weakness." Her team scanned the energy beams, the shields, and the ship's movements. Small anomalies appeared, tiny inconsistencies in the alien attack patterns. They were subtle, almost impossible to notice, but they gave a glimmer of hope. Civilians began to adapt as well. Ordinary people did extraordinary things. A group of engineers in Berlin converted construction cranes into defensive towers. A pilot in Sydney modified his small aircraft to carry a homemade electromagnetic pulse device. Across the world, humans improvised weapons, defenses, and strategies. People who had never held a gun now fought to survive. It was not just soldiers against aliens, it was humanity against extinction. As the days passed, the world began to change. Governments issued emergency evacuation orders. Major cities became battle zones, while rural areas offered temporary safety. Communication networks struggled, but people found ways to connect. Drones were repurposed for scouting, and amateur inventors worked alongside scientists to create new weapons. Humanity was learning quickly, adapting to a threat it had never imagined. In the deserts of Nevada, a small team of soldiers and scientists set up a makeshift command center. Marcus Hayes had been sent there to coordinate the defense of North America. He stood with Dr. Harper looking at a holographic map of the continent. Red markers indicated alien attacks and green markers showed human positions. "We can't fight them head-on," Marcus said. "We have to be smarter, faster." Dr. Harper nodded. "I've been studying their shields. They are almost perfect, but I think I found a pattern. Their energy fluctuates every few seconds. If we time it right, we can penetrate their defenses." The first human counterattack was small but daring. A team of pilots, engineers, and soldiers launched an operation near Tokyo. Using the knowledge Dr. Harper provided, they targeted the aliens' weak points. Energy beams that had seemed unstoppable were disrupted. One alien ship exploded in a brilliant flash, scattering debris across the city. Civilians cheered, but the victory was bittersweet. The aliens retaliated immediately, forcing the humans to retreat. Even in the chaos, acts of courage and kindness shone through. People saved strangers trapped under rubble. Soldiers carried injured civilians to safety under fire. Engineers risked their lives to repair communication systems so others could coordinate defenses. Humanity's creativity, bravery, and determination were the real weapons against the alien invaders. The aliens, confident in their power, underestimated human resolve. They had expected fear, surrender, and weakness. Instead, they faced a species that refused to give up, that adapted faster than they could predict. Small victories gave hope to millions. People began sharing tactics, building defenses, and fighting back in ways the aliens did not anticipate. By the end of the first week, humanity had learned something crucial. The aliens were not invincible. They had advanced technology, yes, but they lacked one thing humans possessed in abundance: ingenuity. Ordinary men and women, armed with courage and knowledge, could challenge them. In a ruined city in Italy, a young girl named Sophia watched the smoke rise from the streets below. Her father had been lost in the first attack, and her mother worked tirelessly to help survivors. Sophia, despite her fear, helped organize food and water for families trapped in shelters. She did not know the aliens' true nature or their weaknesses, but she knew she could help in small ways. Every person who refused to give up added to humanity's strength. Meanwhile, the alien commanders communicated with each other in ways humans could not fully understand. They were puzzled by the resilience of the species they had assumed would be easily defeated. Reports of sabotage, counterattacks, and clever human strategies reached their leaders. Confusion and frustration began to spread among their ranks. Back at the command center, Marcus Hayes and Dr. Harper prepared for the next phase. "We need to hit them harder," Marcus said. "We have to show them we are not weak. Every victory matters," Dr. Harper nodded. "And every discovery counts. If we can study their technology, even a little, we can turn it against them." As the night fell, human forces gathered for a coordinated operation. Fighters flew silently under the cover of darkness. Drones scouted enemy positions, and soldiers moved through ruined streets. The first real strike against the aliens was not just a battle. It was a message. Humanity would fight no matter the odds. For the first time, people across the globe felt a spark of hope. Despite the fear, destruction, and uncertainty, humans had begun to fight back. They were not just survivors, they were defenders of their planet. And this was only the beginning. The aliens had arrived thinking they would conquer Earth easily. Instead, they had awakened something far stronger than they imagined: the unyielding spirit of humanity. The first week of the alien attacks had been terrifying. Cities were in ruins, millions of people had fled, and the world had felt like it was collapsing. But humanity was not finished. If anything, the attacks had united people in ways never seen before. Governments, scientists, soldiers, and ordinary citizens had come together, sharing knowledge, resources, and courage. In the Nevada desert, Marcus Hayes paced the command center. Large holographic maps covered the walls, showing alien positions, destroyed cities, and safe zones. "We have to fight smarter, not just harder," he said to Dr. Elena Harper. "We can't match their firepower, but we can match their mistakes." Dr. Harper adjusted her glasses and pointed to the screen. "I've been studying their shields and weapons. They are advanced, yes, but predictable in small ways. Their energy pulses have a rhythm. If we can time our strikes, we can pierce the shields. Even just a little, we can damage their systems," Marcus nodded. "Then let's start small. Hit their supply lines, disrupt communications, and show them humans are not easy prey." Across the globe, small human teams began their operations. In Tokyo, a group of engineers had created makeshift EMP devices from salvaged electronics. They mounted them on drones and tested the effect on alien drones. The results were promising. Small alien craft fell from the sky, powerless against the unexpected human technology. In Europe, soldiers used underground tunnels to ambush alien patrols. They had no advanced weapons, only rifles, explosives, and clever traps. Yet they struck efficiently, striking fear into the alien invaders. Civilians helped, guiding soldiers through hidden paths, warning of alien movements and supplying necessary tools. Even children and teenagers contributed. They were tasked with simpler missions, relaying messages, gathering supplies, or spotting alien positions. While dangerous, their contributions were crucial. Humanity had become a collective effort, where every person mattered. In the United States, a pilot named Sarah Mitchell volunteered for a risky mission. She flew a small fighter aircraft, equipped with a modified EMP device created by human engineers. Her goal was to disable a small alien scout ship hovering over Los Angeles. The night was dark, but Sarah's determination burned brighter than any star. She dodged energy beams, maneuvered through the alien fleet, and released the EMP at the right moment. The alien ship shuddered, sparks flying from its hull, and crashed into the ocean. Sarah radioed the success back to the command center, her voice trembling but proud. Back in Nevada, Marcus and Dr. Harper celebrated the small victories, but they knew this was only the beginning. The aliens were still strong. Their large ships hovered over cities, their weapons capable of mass destruction and their numbers seemingly endless. But humanity had learned something important. Aliens could be defeated, and humans could fight smarter than expected. The next plan was larger and riskier. Humanity would attempt a coordinated strike on multiple alien bases simultaneously. Using information gathered from reconnaissance drones and captured technology, small human squads would target supply depots, communication hubs, and weak points in the alien ships. Success would slow the aliens' advance and give humans time to strengthen their defenses. In Moscow, a team of engineers had converted subway tunnels into secret launch points. Explosives, EMP devices, and human ingenuity turned the underground network into a hidden fortress. Soldiers could emerge unexpectedly, strike, and vanish before aliens could respond. These guerrilla tactics frustrated the alien commanders, who were used to overwhelming their opponents with sheer power. Meanwhile, in Rio de Janeiro, civilians had built defensive walls and shelters using debris from destroyed buildings. They rigged improvised alarms, allowing early warning against alien patrols. Communities organized food, water, and medical supplies for survivors. Humanity's will to protect itself had transformed ordinary cities into battlegrounds filled with hope and courage. Dr. Harper continued her research tirelessly. She had noticed patterns in the alien energy weapons, slight delays and inconsistencies. They rely on precision, she explained to Marcus. If we create unpredictable movements and attacks, we can exploit that. They can't adjust quickly enough. Marcus smiled. Then unpredictability is our weapon. Humanity will fight differently, and that's why we'll survive. In the deserts of Nevada, a human fleet prepared for its first large-scale operation. Ships of all sizes, military vessels, converted cargo ships, and civilian crafts formed a makeshift armada. Engineers had attached modified weapons and devices to each vessel. Pilots trained tirelessly, studying alien movements and learning how to anticipate attacks. Even small teams on the ground coordinated with the fleet, ready to strike if the aliens tried to land forces. The operation began at dawn. Across multiple continents, humans launched attacks on alien positions. EMP devices disabled drones, explosives destroyed supply depots, and sniper teams targeted alien soldiers. The aliens responded with overwhelming force, but they were unprepared for human tactics. Humans were fast, creative, and unpredictable. Every victory inspired more people to fight. In Paris, a young soldier named André led a small team against an alien communications hub. The building was heavily guarded, but André's team had planned their attack meticulously. They navigated through narrow alleys, avoided patrols, and set explosives at key points. When the charges detonated, the alien hub collapsed in flames, cutting off communication between several alien ships. Citizens watched from hiding spots, cheering quietly. The aliens had underestimated the resilience and intelligence of humans. Even in the most dangerous situations, humans showed courage. In New York, a group of firefighters and volunteers rescued civilians trapped under a collapsed building while alien ships hovered above. The aliens fired energy beams nearby, but humans refused to stop. Using ropes, tools, and quick thinking, they saved dozens of lives. Humanity's ability to act under pressure amazed even the soldiers. As days turned into weeks, humans began to push the aliens back. Small victories accumulated and hope spread. People shared stories of bravery and clever strategies. Ordinary citizens who had never imagined themselves as heroes discovered strength they never knew existed. The world began to feel a little safer, even as the aliens still threatened. The alien commanders, observing the human response, grew frustrated. Their strategies were failing against a species they had thought primitive and weak. Reports of sabotage, guerrilla attacks, and unexpected counterattacks reached them constantly. For the first time, doubt crept into their ranks. They had expected fear and surrender, but they faced intelligence, bravery, and determination. Humans were fighting in ways aliens could not predict. In Nevada, Marcus Hayes addressed his team. "We've shown them humans can fight back. But we are only beginning. They will come back stronger. We must learn, adapt, and strike even smarter. Dr. Harper nodded. Every captured device, every observation, every strategy brings us closer to winning. We are not just defending Earth. We are showing the universe what humans can do. Across the globe, humanity's spirit burned brighter. Scientists, soldiers, civilians, and even children contributed to the effort. People worked together, shared knowledge, and risked their lives for each other. The alien threat had awakened something extraordinary, a united human race determined to survive. By the end of Part 2, humans had learned a crucial lesson. Alien technology was powerful, but human creativity, courage, and teamwork could match it. The first victories were small, but they proved that humans could fight back. Humanity was no longer just defending itself. It was planning to take the fight to the invaders, showing that determination and intelligence could overcome even the most advanced enemy. The stage was set for the next chapter. Humans were no longer on the defensive, they were preparing for a bold counterattack. The aliens had underestimated humanity, and that mistake could cost them dearly. The battle for Earth had begun in earnest, and the courage of humans would shape the future of the planet. The first human counterattacks had worked better than anyone expected. The aliens, confident in their strength, had been surprised by the ingenuity and courage of humanity. Soldiers, scientists, and civilians all contributed in ways the invaders had not imagined. Humanity had learned quickly. Adaptability was as powerful as weapons. In the deserts of Nevada, Marcus Hayes studied reports from human operations across the globe. The data showed patterns in alien behavior, weaknesses in their formations, and timing in their energy shields. "We found their flaw," he said firmly. "Now we have to strike before they adjust." Dr. Elena Harper nodded. "It's subtle, but it's there. Their shields pulse in a rhythm, almost perfect, but not completely. If we can time attacks with precision, we can penetrate them and damage their ships. Every strike counts." The plan was daring. Human forces would simultaneously attack multiple alien strongholds on Earth. Small squads, each using unique strategies, would hit supply depots, communication hubs, and energy sources. The goal was not just survival, but to cripple the alien operation. In Tokyo, a team of pilots and engineers prepared for their mission. Fighter jets equipped with EMP devices flew low under the cover of darkness. Drones monitored alien patrols, sending back real-time information. Civilians had provided supplies, intelligence, and even new weapons. The human spirit, combined with technology and creativity, made a powerful team. Lieutenant Akira Sato led the Tokyo squad. "We have one shot at this," he said. "Precision and courage will win today. Remember, every life saved and every strike counts." His team nodded, their faces set with determination. As they approached the alien stronghold, the first challenge came. Energy shields pulsed around the main alien ship. Missiles bounced off harmlessly, but timing the EMP devices with the shield's rhythm caused interference. Sparks flew across the alien hull. Systems short-circuited and a massive explosion rocked the structure. The squad watched, amazed and hopeful. Humanity could fight back. Meanwhile, in Europe, soldiers took advantage of urban environments. Narrow alleys, underground tunnels, and abandoned buildings became traps for alien patrols. Teams like Andres in Paris moved silently, planting explosives and striking unexpectedly. Alien forces used to overwhelming opponents were confused by human unpredictability. Civilians guided soldiers, warned them of dangers, and even delivered messages under fire. In the United States, Sarah Mitchell and her squad performed daring aerial attacks. They targeted alien supply ships and communication arrays. Each successful strike disrupted alien coordination, forcing the invaders to adapt quickly. Sarah's courage inspired others, both pilots and civilians, to join the effort. The aliens, however, were not idle. They began studying human tactics, adapting slowly to their unpredictability. Their energy shields became more variable, their patrols more cautious. But humans had already learned to anticipate changes. Marcus Hayes and Dr. Harper used real-time data from the field to guide operations. Strategy and communication gave humans an edge. In Rio de Janeiro, civilians had fortified their neighborhoods. Streets that had once been chaotic became defensive networks. Barricades, traps, and lookout points allowed humans to control small areas even against superior firepower. Children, teenagers, and adults all played roles. Humanity had turned ordinary people into defenders, showing that courage could be taught and shared. One of the most critical discoveries came from a young engineer named Liam in Berlin. He had been experimenting with captured alien drones and weapons. By carefully analyzing their energy pulses, he developed a device capable of disrupting alien shields for a short period. Marcus Hayes immediately saw the potential. "This could turn the tide," he said. "If we can deploy it in multiple locations, we can destroy alien ships we couldn't before." The first test was risky. A small squad, guided by Liam's calculations, launched an attack near London. The device worked perfectly. Alien shields flickered, weapons failed, and the squad destroyed the ship. The aliens responded with more aggression, but human ingenuity and timing had created a turning point. Humanity was no longer just defending. They were attacking with strategy and precision. In Moscow, a coordinated human assault targeted an alien communications hub. Soldiers moved with quiet efficiency, disabling systems and planting explosives. When the hub exploded, alien ships lost coordination, energy beams misfired, and confusion spread through their ranks. Civilians cheered from hidden shelters, inspired by the courage and effectiveness of human operations. Even in the smallest towns, humans made a difference. Farmers, construction workers, and ordinary citizens modified vehicles, created barriers, and helped soldiers move unseen. Every act mattered, and the cumulative effort of countless individuals gave humans a strength the aliens could not measure. The turning point came when alien commanders realized that their strategy was failing. Their ships, though powerful, were no longer invincible. Human ingenuity, timing, and courage had begun to erode their advantage. They were being forced to retreat from certain areas, leaving behind damaged ships and disrupted forces. Marcus Hayes addressed his team. "We've shown the aliens that humans are not easy to defeat. But this is just the beginning. We have to keep pushing, keep adapting. They are strong, but we are stronger in ways they cannot understand. Every life we save, every ship we destroy, every strategy we execute brings us closer to winning." Dr. Harper added, "And humanity is learning faster than they are. Every failed attack teaches us something. Every victory shows us what works. We are not just surviving. We are growing stronger." In New York, civilians organized food, water, and medical supplies for soldiers returning from operations. Volunteers helped repair damaged vehicles, transport injured people, and share information. Humanity's strength was not just in weapons, it was in unity, determination, and resilience. In the skies over Los Angeles, Sarah Mitchell and her squad faced a massive alien ship. Its energy shields pulsed rapidly, making attacks nearly impossible. But using the timing methods developed by Dr. Harper and Liam, the squad penetrated the shields. Missiles struck the ship, causing a massive explosion. Civilians on the ground cheered, soldiers high-fived, and hope spread like wildfire. Back in Nevada, Marcus and Dr. Harper reviewed the data. The aliens had lost several key positions. Their supply lines were disrupted. Their communication was weakened. Humanity had turned the tide. The first victories had been small, but now they were decisive. For the first time, humans felt confident. They realized that courage, intelligence, and adaptability could overcome technology far beyond their own. The aliens had underestimated humanity, and that mistake was costing them dearly. Even children like Sophia, who had helped organize shelters and supplies, felt the change. She saw people fighting with determination, refusing to give up, and working together in ways she had never imagined. Humanity was learning, growing, and becoming stronger in the face of danger. The world had changed. Earth was still under threat, and the aliens were far from defeated. But humans had discovered a key truth. No matter how advanced the enemy, human creativity, courage, and unity were forces to be reckoned with. Ordinary people could become heroes, and small victories could change the course of the war. The turning point was clear. Humanity was no longer just defending. They were fighting back with skill, strategy, and determination. The aliens had expected surrender and fear. Instead, they faced courage, ingenuity, and an unbreakable spirit. The stage was set for even greater battles. Humanity had proven that they could adapt, fight, and win. But the ultimate challenge lay ahead, the final confrontation that would decide the fate of Earth. Humans were ready. They had discovered the true power of their species, the ability to rise against any challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed. The first victories were behind them, but the war for Earth was only beginning. And humanity, united and determined, was ready to face whatever came next. The first victories had changed everything. Humans were no longer running from the aliens, they were striking back with purpose. Cities once filled with fear had become fortresses, and small victories had grown into coordinated strategies. But the aliens were not defeated. They still had vast ships, advanced weapons, and countless troops. Humanity faced its greatest challenge yet, a final battle to protect their home. In the Nevada Command Center, Marcus Hayes stood before a giant holographic map. Red dots represented alien forces. Green dots showed human positions. Dr. Elena Harper stood beside him, reviewing the latest intelligence. "They've regrouped," she said. "But we've found weak points in their main fleet. If we strike correctly, we can break their command structure and force a retreat." Marcus nodded, his jaw tight with determination. "This is it. Every squad, every pilot, every civilian counts. We fight together or we fall apart. Humanity's survival depends on this moment." Around the globe, human forces prepared. Pilots checked their aircraft. Soldiers loaded weapons, and civilians fortified their cities. Engineers installed EMP devices, traps, and communication relays. Even children contributed, helping guide squads through safer routes, relaying messages, and assisting in shelters. Every person played a role. Humanity had become a single, unified force fighting for survival. In Tokyo, Lieutenant Akira Sato led a team toward one of the largest alien supply depots. The depot was heavily guarded, but the humans had learned to strike unexpectedly. Using underground tunnels and hidden streets, they approached the target with precision. Drones flew ahead, disabling surveillance devices while soldiers moved silently behind them. The attack began with a burst of EMP devices, disrupting alien shields. Explosions rocked the depot as humans planted charges at key points. Alien soldiers fired energy beams, but humans dodged, countered, and advanced. Within hours, the depot was destroyed, cutting off supplies to several alien ships. Civilians watching from hiding spots cheered quietly. Human ingenuity and courage had triumphed again. In Europe, Andre's team launched a daring assault on an alien communications hub. They navigated narrow streets and hidden alleys, avoiding patrols and traps. Explosives disabled key systems, causing alien ships in orbit to misfire. Soldiers and civilians celebrated their small victory, knowing it would have a huge impact on the larger battle. Meanwhile, in the United States, Sarah Mitchell and her squad flew toward a massive alien ship hovering above Los Angeles. Its energy shields pulsed rapidly, but they had learned the rhythm. Timing their EMP devices perfectly, they disabled the shields just long enough to strike. Missiles hit the ship's core and a massive explosion shook the sky. Civilians cheered as smoke and fire lit up the horizon. Humanity had proven that even the largest alien ships could be defeated. On the ground, ordinary humans performed extraordinary acts of bravery. In New York, a group of firefighters rescued trapped civilians while alien forces fired overhead. Using quick thinking, teamwork, and courage, they carried dozens to safety. In Berlin, engineers risked their lives to repair communication lines, ensuring human squads could coordinate across continents. Every act mattered, every contribution added strength to humanity's defense. The aliens were forced to react. They deployed more ships, more soldiers, and more energy weapons. But humans had adapted. Each attack was anticipated, each strategy countered. Guerrilla tactics, combined with reverse-engineered weapons and intelligence, allowed humans to fight with efficiency and precision. What once seemed impossible became reality. Humans were pushing back the alien invaders. In Rio de Janeiro, civilians and soldiers fought side by side to defend their city. Barricades, traps, and quick thinking allowed humans to control key areas, slowing alien advances. Even when alien energy beams destroyed buildings, humans regrouped, repaired, and returned to the fight. Humanity's resilience became legendary, inspiring others to take up the cause. The turning point of the final battle came when Marcus Hayes and Dr. Harper identified the alien command ship. It was massive, surrounded by smaller ships, and the source of the invaders' strategy. If humans could destroy it, the alien forces would lose coordination and morale. The plan was risky, but it was humanity's best chance. A fleet of human ships piloted by the bravest and most skilled, prepared to strike. Civilians had contributed by building weapons, modifying vehicles, and supplying critical data. Engineers like Liam had perfected devices to disrupt alien shields. Every person, from soldiers to ordinary citizens, had a role in the final assault. As the human fleet approached, alien defenses opened fire. Energy beams lit up the sky, shaking ships and testing the courage of pilots. But humans moved with skill, timing attacks with precision. EMP devices, explosives, and clever maneuvers created openings in the alien shields. The command ship, massive and powerful, began to falter. On the ground, humans continued their own battles. Soldiers destroyed alien supply lines, engineers sabotaged energy sources, and civilians guided reinforcements through safer routes. The war was being fought on multiple fronts, and humanity's unity was overwhelming the aliens. Inside the command ship, alien leaders were confused and frustrated. Their tactics, once unstoppable, were being countered at every turn. Communication was disrupted, supplies destroyed, and key ships eliminated. For the first time, they faced a species they could not predict or control. Marcus Hayes watched the battle unfold from Nevada. "This is it," he said. "The aliens thought they could conquer Earth, but they didn't count on humanity. They didn't count on courage, ingenuity, or unity. Today, Earth fights back and wins." The final strike on the command ship was coordinated across continents. EMP devices disabled its shields for a brief moment. Missiles, piloted drones, and human pilots struck with perfect timing. Explosions tore through the ship's hull, and it began to break apart. Alien forces scattered in disarray, their morale shattered. Civilians across the world watched in awe as the command ship exploded in the sky. Cities erupted in cheers, soldiers embraced, and humanity celebrated its hard-earned victory. Humanity had faced an enemy far stronger and more advanced, yet determination, strategy, and courage had won the day. Even after the explosion, humans remained vigilant. Alien ships still hovered in orbit, but their coordination was broken. Ground forces had disrupted supply lines, destroyed key facilities, and shown that humans would not be defeated. The final battle was not just a fight for survival, it was proof that humanity could overcome impossible odds. In New York, Sarah Mitchell returned to the ground, her squad battered but victorious. Civilians surrounded them, offering thanks, food, and water. The pilot smiled, exhausted but proud. Humanity had done what many thought impossible. They had defended Earth not with the most advanced technology alone, but with courage, intelligence, and unity. In Berlin, Andre's team repaired damage from the battle. Engineers worked tirelessly, soldiers regrouped, and civilians helped where they could. Humanity had learned that every person mattered, every action counted, and every effort could make the difference between victory and defeat. As night fell, the world was filled with a sense of relief and triumph. Cities were in ruins, but the spirit of humanity shone brighter than ever. People had fought together, learned together, and overcome together. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged victorious. Marcus Hayes and Dr. Harper stood together, looking at the holographic map of Earth. Red dots representing alien forces were fewer and scattered. Human positions had strengthened. "We did it," Marcus said quietly. "Earth is safe. For now," Dr. Harper nodded. "We've proven something important. Humanity cannot be underestimated. We adapt, we fight, and we survive. We've shown the universe what humans are capable of." Even children like Sophia celebrated quietly with her family. She had seen destruction, fear, and loss, but also bravery, teamwork, and hope. Humanity had endured, and she understood that courage and unity were the real weapons that had saved the planet. The final battle had been won, but the lessons remained. Humanity had faced an enemy more powerful and advanced than they could have imagined, yet their spirit, creativity, and determination had prevailed. The world had changed, and humans had discovered a strength beyond technology. The aliens had underestimated humanity, and that mistake had cost them dearly. Humans had defended their planet, proven their courage, and shown that no matter the odds, they would fight for survival. Earth was free, and humanity had proven that they were a force to be reckoned with. The final battle had ended, but humanity knew this was only the beginning of a new era. With courage, intelligence, and unity, they could face anything. The victory had been hard won, but it had shown the true power of humans, the ability to adapt, to innovate, and to rise against any challenge, and so Earth stood victorious, its defenders stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever might come next. Humanity had fought, and humanity had won. The final battle had ended. The skies were quiet, and the alien threat had been driven back. Cities were in ruins, but humans stood taller than ever. They had faced a force far stronger than themselves and emerged victorious. Humanity had discovered a strength beyond weapons: courage, intelligence, and unity. In Nevada, Marcus Hayes surveyed the operations from the command center. His team was busy coordinating rescue missions, rebuilding communication networks, and securing remaining alien remnants. He looked out over the desert, reflecting on the past weeks. Humans had learned fast, adapted faster, and fought with determination that no alien could anticipate. Dr. Elena Harper joined him, holding a stack of reports from global operations. "The alien fleet has retreated beyond the solar system," she said. "We've taken control of their remaining ships on Earth, and their command systems are destroyed." "Humanity won," Marcus exhaled deeply. "It's hard to believe. We actually did it. We survived. We won." "Not just survived," Dr. Harper said. "We proved that humans are capable of more than even the most advanced enemy expected. We fought not just with weapons, but with intelligence, strategy, and courage." Across the globe, cities were slowly coming back to life. Survivors cleared rubble, rebuilt homes, and helped those injured or trapped. Ordinary people who had once lived quiet lives had become heroes. Engineers repaired power lines, doctors treated the wounded, and volunteers distributed food and water. Humanity had faced destruction, yet they were determined to rebuild stronger than before. In New York, Sarah Mitchell walked through the streets, checking on survivors. She saw children returning to makeshift schools, families reclaiming their homes, and communities working together. The fear that had gripped the city was fading, replaced by hope. People celebrated quietly, grateful for the victory but mindful of the work ahead. Even in the smallest towns, people contributed to rebuilding. Farmers restored fields, artisans repaired buildings, and citizens formed groups to help each other. Humans had learned that survival depended on unity, courage, and creativity. Every effort mattered, and together they could overcome anything. Scientists studied the remnants of alien technology. Devices that had once seemed incomprehensible were slowly understood. Engineers and researchers learned how to reverse engineer energy sources, weapons, and communication systems. Humanity's technology advanced faster than ever, giving them tools they had never imagined. In Berlin, Liam, the young engineer who had discovered ways to disrupt alien shields, worked with Dr. Harper to examine alien ships. "This technology could help us protect Earth in the future," he said. "We can learn from them without repeating the mistakes they made." Dr. Harper nodded. "Exactly. We fought and won, but knowledge will ensure we are ready for whatever comes next. Humans are resourceful, and we've proven that. Now we need to use that knowledge wisely." Marcus Hayes met with leaders from around the world via a secure communication network. They discussed rebuilding cities, helping survivors, and preparing for the future. "We have won the war," Marcus said, "but the real challenge is rebuilding a world where humans can thrive. We must unite, not just for defense, but for progress." In Tokyo, Lieutenant Akira Sato helped organize a network of volunteers to rebuild the city. He watched as ordinary people worked alongside soldiers, clearing debris, repairing buildings, and planting gardens. Communities that had been torn apart by fear and destruction were now coming together. Humanity had faced extinction, and yet their spirit remained unbroken. Civilians like Sophia, who had helped organize shelters and supplies during the attacks, now helped rebuild schools and community centers. She saw hope in the eyes of her friends and neighbors. Even young people understood that they had played a role in saving the planet. And now they were helping create a future worth living for. Across the ocean in Rio de Janeiro, the citizens who had fortified their neighborhoods during the invasion now worked to restore the city. Streets that had once been battle zones became clean, safe pathways. Hospitals treated the wounded and schools reopened. Humanity's resilience was evident everywhere, from the largest cities to the smallest towns. While humans rebuilt, they also reflected on the lessons learned. Courage had been the first weapon, intelligence the second, and unity the third. Every human, from soldiers to civilians, had contributed to the victory. Ordinary actions had made extraordinary differences. Humanity had faced an enemy that seemed unbeatable, and yet they had succeeded. In orbit, human spacecraft monitored the edges of the solar system, ensuring that the alien fleet would not return. Satellites and reconnaissance drones scanned for any signs of renewed attacks. Humans had learned to anticipate threats, adapt quickly, and respond with precision. The victory was complete, but humanity remained vigilant. Marcus Hayes addressed the global command network. We have defended Earth, but our work is not done. We must protect what we've built, learn from what we've faced, and prepare for a future where we remain strong, united, and vigilant. Humanity has proven its worth, and now we must ensure that our home remains safe. In laboratories worldwide, scientists experimented with alien technology to develop new energy sources, medical tools, and communication systems. Engineers tested reverse-engineered weapons for defense, while educators taught children about the courage and ingenuity that had saved Earth. The story of humanity's victory spread, inspiring generations to come. Civilians took pride in their contribution. They had cleaned streets, helped rebuild cities, and assisted in defense operations. Farmers, teachers, engineers, and children, everyone had played a role. Humanity had become more than a species that survived. They had become a united, resilient civilization. In New York, Sarah Mitchell watched the sunrise over the skyline. She remembered the fear, chaos, and destruction of the first attacks. But she also remembered courage, teamwork, and victories. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger. "We did it," she whispered. "Earth is ours, and we protected it." Marcus Hayes stood on a hill overlooking the Nevada desert, the command center behind him. Fires from the final battles had long been extinguished, and life had begun to return. "We've learned something important," he said quietly. "Humans are not just survivors. We are fighters, thinkers, and creators. We can face anything, and we will." Dr. Harper joined him, watching as drones mapped safe zones and reconstruction efforts. "The universe will know humanity has risen," she said. "We have defended our home, and we will continue to protect it. Our strength comes from unity, courage, and intelligence. We are ready for whatever comes next." Even young Sophia understood the change. She walked through her neighborhood, helping plant gardens and clean streets. She saw neighbors laughing again, children playing, and families returning to normal life. Humanity had faced incredible danger and survived, but the spirit of hope and courage remained alive. The world had changed, but humans had adapted. Cities were rebuilt, communities strengthened, and knowledge expanded. Humans had faced a species far more advanced than themselves, yet ingenuity, bravery, and unity had carried the day. Earth was safe, and humanity had proven that they were a force to be reckoned with. The aliens had underestimated humans, and humanity had seized the opportunity. Courage had been their weapon, intelligence their shield, and unity their power. The planet had been defended, and humans had emerged victorious. The story of Earth's defense spread across the globe. Children listened in schools, soldiers told stories to civilians, and families shared their experiences. Humans had faced near destruction, yet their bravery and intelligence had saved the planet. Humanity had proven that no matter the odds, they could overcome any challenge. As the sun set over the rebuilt cities, Marcus Hayes and Dr. Harper stood together one last time. "We've won," Marcus said. "But more importantly, we've shown what humans can do when we stand together." Dr. Harper smiled. "And we will continue to stand together always. For Earth, for humanity, and for the future." The world was quiet now. The alien ships were gone. The cities were slowly being restored, and humanity had learned that unity, courage, and intelligence were stronger than any enemy. Humans had defended their home and discovered the true power of their species. Earth was free, and humanity had shown the universe what it meant to be human. The story was not just about survival. It was about courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable spirit that had saved a planet. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and won. They had defended Earth, rebuilt their world, and proven that no force, no matter how advanced, could defeat a united and determined species. And as night fell across the planet, humans looked up at the stars, not in fear but in confidence. Earth was theirs, and they were ready for whatever the universe might bring next. Humanity had fought, humanity had endured, and humanity had triumphed.